From the very start, from the moment we meet Éowyn, she is isolated from all the men in her life. Today, our discussion of the Middle Earth Saga brings us to the second film of the Lord of the Rings trilogy, The Two Towers, released in 2002. The second film of the Lord of the Rings trilogy had several expectations and many things that it had to get right. The movie has a different pace from Fellowship and follows not just one, but three different plot lines, although technically two of them you could have in conjunction with each other. The movie needed to start off faster than the first film, and it did. It almost immediately sets up Saruman as this film's active villain, and not just how he is building his army of Uruk-hai, but how he is destroying the environment and corrupting the groups of men around him, whether it is the rabble of wild men or the King of Rohan himself. The Two Towers is the first time where we encounter the first human civilization in the trilogy. We've been dealing with hobbits and dwarves and elves up until this point, but now we are in the world of men. We are in our world, as it were. The movie spends most of the time in Rohan and with its key characters, especially its king, Theoden, played by the late Bernard Hill. It is in this way that The Two Towers moves the story away from being just a fantasy quest to a full war drama, which culminates in the beginning of the War of the Ring in this film's third act. Meanwhile, we are introduced to one of the most iconic characters from this trilogy, Gollum, played by Andy Serkis. This character not only was a great achievement for motion capture technology at the time, but also the visualizing of what the ring can do to someone. The movie, I believe, shows the trickster character of Gollum from the beginning. There is no opposition within him, and although people try and argue that he was going back and forth, the two personalities here, I think, really are just one, and he always planned to betray Frodo. There was no conflict within him. And his character does help the Frodo and Sam section of this movie be more engaging. This section of the film also introduces Faramir, Boromir's younger brother, and his character is one of the most underrated characters from the trilogy. David Wenham acts through every type of scene he is in so well, whether it's resisting the ring and letting Frodo go, or attempting to commit suicide in the next film once he realizes he cannot please his father. This is how we are introduced to the other great human civilization of the story, Gondor, and we start to see its current decline. The movie, though, does belong to our three hunters, Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli, probably because the film's focus is on their journey for the most part and their teamwork every step of the way, leading to the final battle of Helm's Deep. This is one of the greatest sequences of the trilogy and was groundbreaking for the time, and it still is incredible today. The outnumbered protagonist must mount a great last stand against a newly forged army of monsters. This includes, but is not limited to, siege ladders, ballistas, warriors wielding different weapons, Legolas and Gimli having a kill competition, and suicide bombers, which means explosions. The tide truly turns, though, once Theoden and the others charge out to battle one last time to meet Gandalf the White, who arrives with Éomer's banished cavalry to make the Uruk-hai army retreat. All the while, Saruman's grand plan is being washed away with the Ents destroying Isengard. This movie very much builds upon the character of Aragorn from the first film, which is on purpose since the films are having him turn into the king that will come back in the third film. Besides the display of his skills and his experience on the battlefield, the movie shows where he is psychologically and emotionally. But they wisely had him visually keep his pain inside. The movie has the new character of Éowyn draw out for the audience what Aragorn is feeling, specifically about having to leave Arwen behind. He still loves Arwen, and though he hasn't said it plainly yet, he tries to make it clear to Éowyn. Éowyn is another one of the trilogy's famous characters due to her moment in the next film. I think many audience members miss the reasons why she is acting the way she is in The Two Towers. Yes, she is annoying. Yes, she is being pushy with Aragorn, but there's reasons for it. From the very start, from the moment we meet Éowyn, she is isolated from all the men in her life. Her cousin has just been killed, her brother has just been banished, her father is long dead, and her uncle, the king's mind, is lost. She is longing to have that good man be back in her life, and she projects all of these desires onto Aragorn. Aragorn knows that Éowyn likes him, but quietly tries to stay distant. It isn't until the next film that we and Éowyn both realize that it wasn't a romantic partner that Éowyn needed, but rather it was a father. The Two Towers is one of the best sequels of all time. It builds upon the first film and takes the trilogy into its third and final chapter. Despite its slow points, the final moments of triumph are well worth the wait. The movie is the most flawed of the trilogy, but it is still incredible and manages to pull off having more plot lines, more characters, and more places. The Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, gets a 9.8 out of 10. Hello everyone and welcome back to Movies with Michael. If you enjoyed this movie review, you can show it by leaving a like on this video and comment down below what you think about this movie. Did you love it? Did you hate it? Or was it right there in between? You can tell me all that down below in the comments section. And please remember to click the notification icon and subscribe for more content about movies. That's all for now, and I'll see you all next time.